Hey guys, I want to bring you another YouTube video on today's NBA trade deadline and some of the trades that recently took place, especially the big headlines. So, CJ McCullen got traded to New Orleans. That kind of kicked things off, I thought, because kind of big name, but not like that all star or Hall of Fame type of player. But we knew he was on the train block for a while, but thought he was going to go to maybe more of a contender. Obviously, he may help Zion if he ever comes back and play. So obviously, I thought with that trade, they were going to trade Damian Lillard. I know Damian Lillard is um, hurt, and obviously he's not having good seasons, in my opinion. Pretty much almost all time lows and stuff. So I thought the Portland Trailblazers were going to blow up the team and start all over, go young, especially they have Anthony Simmons and some nice young pieces that way. So they did nothing stand pat with Damian Lillard. So I was a little surprised. Maybe this offseason he'll be moved, but I don't see how he's going to stay there long term. Then the next big trade that kind of took place was a big shocker was the Indiana Pacers and Sacramento Kings with Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield. I know Buddy was actually on the train block for a while, but Tyrese Halliburton was actually on. I mean, that broke the trade talks with the 76ers and Ben Simmons was because they wanted Tyrese Halliburton, and they said no, that's not going to happen. But apparently, all other sources said other teams would have bid higher if they knew Tyrese Halliburton was going to be available. So that was a head scratcher too. Especially he was committed to try to stay with Sacramento Kings. So and Sabonis, I mean, he's a good player. I think a two-time All Star, but he's not like that franchise player that's going to change things. The Kings had a nice young nucleus, so I thought that's going to help. But I think with the Pacers, that should help jumpstart. It's not a full rebuild, but it's a good kind of like fit things with the team. I think they have a good chance to come out of the East probably in another couple years. But that was a big surprise. I think that backcourt is going to be solid moving forward with Buddy Hill and Terry Halliburton. And then what was the next big trade that I thought was kind of big domino? Like I said, that was a big shocker. Was I thought Damian Lillard was going to be traded today. Tyrese Halliburton, that was a big shock. Next one can't be a big shock, but Russell Westbrook, obviously with his big contract, that's what happens when you have a bad contract. There was an offer with the Houston Rockets willing to take Russell Westbrook. Was probably going to do a buyout eventually, so that way Westbrook could go to any contending team. But I don't see any contending team wants Westbrook at this point. And so the Rockets want at least in a first round to be attached to take that contract. Obviously, the Lakers did not want to do it because they were just getting John Wall back, and so pretty much train one bad contract for another, and give up first round wasn't going to make sense. But I guess they're going to have to figure something out with Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Um, I can't say I'm surprised with that chemistry and issue. Um, Kind of reminds me of LeBron James and Michael Jordan trying to be GM, and that didn't work out, obviously, for Jordan. So I don't know. This it's a mess for the Lakers. Which, like I said, I'm not a Lakers fan, so I'm kind of glad because I don't like the Lakers. Next, what which was a head scratcher. Well, not a big head scratcher, but not a big shock either because of the rumblings and how obviously I'm a Houston Rockets fan, and dealing with James Harden when he was kind of overweight and out of shape coming into preseason and everything throughout the season of last year, and then we finally traded him. He's more of a headache and drama at this point. I mean, I don't see how it's going to work out with the 76ers. He's played with Dwight Howard. He's played with Chris Paul, which I think was his best backcourt mate, superstar. And I mean, he's played Kevin Durant. He's played with Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving. Now he's going to play with Joel Embiid. So I just don't see how this one's going to work out, um, especially with his age and supposedly he's hurt. But it sounds like he's going to be ready to play. Um, Definitely looking forward to that 76ers and Nets. I think both teams got better. I don't see how James Harden's going to help in the playoffs, to be honest, because I've seen it too many times where he just chokes in the playoffs. And so my thing is, I think they'll probably have a decent seed. Um, if anyone I trust in the East would be Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee, it did shore up one of their needs. I mean, they did trade Devontae, I can't say his name, but to the Kings, but it did help get Serge Ibaka. I think that will help, especially with Brook Lopez being out with his back. So I think you got to kind of watch out for Milwaukee. I think they could get hot at the right time. Um, Now, if New York does lessen the restrictions for the mandate of vaccines, then maybe Kyrie Irving will be back and be a full time player again. And then you got Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons is going to be a better fit with this team. With Seth Curry, I think helps because you got an extra shooter. So I think what the Nets needed is definitely what Ben Simmons is going to be able to provide. And then they also have Andre Drummond that's going to help. So short term, I think both teams worked out well for this. Long term, it could be a better trade for the Nets because James Harden's not getting younger, and if he signs that extension, it could be one of the worst contracts ever, especially when he gets to his final year of his contract. Would be almost, I think, 60 something $1 million, and you don't want to pay someone 38 years old. Which I mean, look at LeBron James. He's having a good year for his age and everything, but he can't carry a team anymore. So I think that was a big one. And then for Zingas, obviously he used to be a good player, but I think it kind of helps, especially um, chemistry wise. It wasn't working with Doncic, but with Ventress Davis and what's his name, Spencer Dinwiddie, will definitely help too with that backcourt with Luca. So I don't think Dallas is going to make a lot of noise, but they'll definitely get in the playoffs. Um, I think the Lakers are going to have to look at a buyout situation if there is any buyouts out there to see if they could add any players. But I mean, if I was a buyout candidate, I would probably look more towards. Yeah, I would probably look more towards the Nets. I feel like the Nets could have a chance, or Milwaukee, or if you're able to catch on with the Warriors or Phoenix. I don't think the Warriors did any trades, but Phoenix did add some wing players, so that did also help. So I feel like the West is going to be between at this point. It's going to be between the Warriors, the Suns, maybe Memphis if John Morant and that crew is healthy and have the right matchups. So then the East, I feel like I don't believe in the Bulls. I think they had a nice start and everything, but it's probably going to be the Bucks, um, the Nets, and I don't believe in the 76ers after this trade, to be honest, because of knowing what you could get from James Harden during the playoffs. So let me know what you guys think of the trade deadline. I mean, I thought it was pretty exciting with all the drama and trades that went down. Like I said, and even some of the trades that did not go down. Like I saw, Damian Lillard was one of the biggest names that should have been moved or could have been moved. So go ahead and like that video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. Thanks.